Hello, YouTube family. I'm coming to you all today to tell y'all about a dream I had in 1999 before September 11th when the Twin Towers was hit with those airplanes. I had that dream. I've had it in my heart for years, ever since, like I say, 19. Actually, it was a year. So that means I had the dream around about September of 1999, and the attack happened in um, in September um, of 2000. I'll never forget it, y'all. I had a dream. Um, I was in Saudi Arabia for some reason, but I was on an airplane, and all of a sudden we were told that the Saudis didn't want American people over there in the land. And this was during the time where there was just unrest, between Saddam Hussein and the Bush family. And it was just total, total unrest. And of course, it was George Bush Jr. who was president at the time. But a year before it happened, I had that dream. Like I said, I was over in Saudi, so we were all trying to rush to get on the airplane to take us back to the United States because the people over there in Saudi was going to kill every American that they saw. So I got on the airplane. I mean, my heart was pumping, and what I recall, because I don't want to lie, what I recall is that we all were scared, and we got on that airplane, and so of course in the dream anything can happen. So in light seconds, because the Saudi Arabians were on our heel, so, but we got on the airplane just in time and flew out just in time. But it looked like while we were flying out of, it's like we were in an airplane that was underground, and the ground opened up, and we took off. We took off from under a underground cavern, like it was something that we had over there. Um, and so we flew out. We came out from underground, and we flew out, and we flew into America, and we were there in light seconds. And y'all, you talking about it was a fearful feeling. So, you ever felt like you jumping from the frying pan into the fire? So as soon as we get to the United States, so somehow I I appeared in a city, like it looked like it could have been Chicago or something like that. And but I was on the ground at this point because in a dream you could appear one place in 1 second, one place in another second. So I was walking in the streets. So I saw airplanes, and y'all, the amount of airplanes that attacked on September 11th, it was more airplanes in my dream. And so these airplanes did not look like they were from Saudi Arabia. They did not look like they were from, out of country. This looked like local jets, but it looked like jets. It really didn't look like an airplane. It looked like jets. So in the dream, the jets. In the place where I was, where it looked like Chicago. I'm not gonna say it was, but there were high rise buildings. And honey, these buildings was as tall as the eyes could see. But all of a sudden, airplanes was coming out of everywhere, and they were getting ready to hit every tall building that they could see. And y'all, it felt like the end of the world to me. It felt like a war, like a World War III war was fin to. Well, not fin to. I mean, that's just my Louisiana slang. was getting ready to happen, and they were running into the buildings. Airplanes was just boom. Airplanes was coming out of a little bit of everywhere, and they were hitting the buildings, and I was crying. I was just about to cry in the dream, and I woke up. The dream was so serious it felt like I was actually there. I wasn't. And now let me say, I said it was a dream, but this actually felt like I was actually there, like I was actually in Saudi Arabia. I felt the fear. I felt everything. It's like I can tell when it's one of those visitations where it felt like I was really there. It wasn't just your ordinary type of dream. Your emotions was involved, the physical, smell, taste, touch, all your sensory was at a height. All of my sensory levels was at a heightened, and so emotionally, I was I was distraught. I was in fear, and so God jerked me out the dream. But before I can get out the dream, I was getting ready to cry. And honey, I woke up out the dream crying and just, oh my God, it felt like it was World War III, like I was really there. And imagine these other countries, like Syria, Damascus, Israel, Armenia, all them other places that bombs have been dropped on them. And I imagine it feel like the end of the world to them. And that's what it felt like to me. And I say, oh my God, oh my God. And so time went by, and a year later, New York was bombed. I said, oh my God. I said, I had a dream of this a year ago, and I was at my job. I was working at the mall, and I was at my job, and we heard about it. So we turned on the TV, and I looked, and an airplane had hit one of the Twin Towers. Then, not too long after that, another airplane hit the other tower. Then, not too long after that, another airplane had hit the Pentagon. Then after that, another airplane was shot out the sky. I forgot what city it was, but by then they were grounding all, airports and stopping people from flying. But like I said in that dream that I had, they had more than one airplane. So what I believe that there were more attacks to come. There were more attacks to come, but when they grounded all airplanes, they couldn't really, excuse me, y'all, they couldn't really do too much after that. But y'all, time has passed by since then, and I had a chance to study on all this. Now, allegedly, I'm gonna say allegedly, the USA claimed they ain't had nothing to do with that. Excuse me, y'all. But after after studying and after looking and combing through videos over a period of time, it appears that the United States did this to New York. The president was in a class of kids, and he was looking like a deer in the headlights when somebody had came to him to tell him about, the Twin Towers had been hit by airplanes. Then I began to look at how the buildings fell. The buildings fell like as if, not like as if, it fell like a demolition. Then they pulled another building. They had video recording of another man saying, pull building 7. Pull it. Now, this was supposed to be an attack. And when they pulled that building, well, I think it was building 7. However, they said that third building that was close by the Twin Towers. They pulled that building. Now, with the new demolition technology, they use a substance that turns the building into a powdery substance. So if you notice, when the buildings fell, it was nothing but powder all over New York. It wasn't no big lumps of building. The only thing it was left was just a few scraps, a few of metal scraps. And they showed that after it cleaned up, they showed the metal that was left. It looked like a cross, of the metal that was left. And so, excuse me, y'all. I said, really? But see, at first, they had us thinking, it was people from Saudi Arabia. And from what I heard a few years back, that there was an attack by Osama bin Laden, a few years earlier. Okay. Now that one I might can believe, but this one was done by under Bush administration, allegedly under the Bush administration. So somebody had told me just no 2 days ago that um that when Osama no that when Obama took office that that I'm not sure allegedly that Obama let George go for those crimes. Let George Bush Jr. and all who were involved let them go for those crimes. Because usually when a president is changing into office, and if there was some dirt going on, usually there's some prosecution and some firing going on before, as that president take office, when he find out what's going on, But they say allegedly that Obama, you know, didn't confront or didn't, he knew of it, but he didn't prosecute the Bush administration and those that were involved in that New York, the 211 incident, not 211, 9/11 incident. And it's sad, y'all. I'm like, if y'all wanted those buildings done, why do you have to go by way of an attack? Just tell people that, okay, hey, we want to build new towers, and we're going to move y'all somewhere else, and we're going to demolition those two buildings and build other buildings and demolition this, and this, and this. But it was a plot to act like another country did this when we were the culprits. Allegedly, we were the culprit. And it had plenty of videos that showed of people, that were whistleblowers. In fact, there was a black woman in the Pentagon. She said it wasn't no airplane that hit the Pentagon. She said it was just some type of little mini, not an airplane, but a mini, yeah, like a mini airplane. And because it hit where she was. And they threatened her. It's got information, unless they done scrubbed all that off of YouTube and off of Google. But she was threatened not to tell anybody, but she told it anyway. I don't know what they done to her. I don't know if they threatened her to cause her to lose her job. But it wasn't no airplane that hit the Pentagon. They had video footage, but then they scrubbed the video footage, and it was just a bunch of lies. You know, it was just a bunch of lies. And I said it's sad. If y'all just want to demolition them twin towers, y'all building and build some other stuff, why people had to die? Why lives had to be sacrificed just to blame another country, just to build two buildings? But I'm sure I know what it was. It was, with the Bushes, they all about that oil. And it was about getting um what's his name, Saddam Hussein, out of office. And supposedly the Bushes was friends with Osama bin Laden's family. But supposedly Osama bin Laden just went rogue and did what he wanted to do, supposedly. And supposedly, you know in the Obama administration, Osama bin Laden was killed. So y'all, I just feel like the United States is always up to something. Those that are in high places, you know, while you think they putting out one fire, they starting another one. They throwing a rock and hiding their hands. So that's why we just got to continually, pray for. Well, now we got new administration. We're going from the Trump administration into the Biden administration, and so now it's a mess with that. So I'm like, it's just mess and drama in the presidential, you know, office. It's just something. But anyway, I just want to share that. And if y'all want to research on the truth behind 911, just look on YouTube or Google it. And and it just seemed like the United States is asleep. We just, we find out a truth. Then after a while, the news go on to the next news, like as if 911 didn't happen. And people go back to business as usual. And as far as we know, I don't know that anybody was prosecuted for this, you know, but it's sad. But I just want to share that dream I had with y'all. Like I said, I saw aircrafts hitting tall buildings, and of course, God didn't show me New York, but God, when God gives you a dream, He show you of things to come. It may not be that exact place, that exact time, and but it'll be similar. So I saw aircrafts getting ready to hitting buildings and getting ready to hit other buildings, and the dream just God just yanked me out the dream as far as I can recall, and so it was just something. Then when it happened a year later, I had told my pastor and my congregation about it. And I didn't know, this was in 1999. My pastor said, well, Chanel, next time you have a dream like that, he said you need to tell other saints about it so we can pray about that and come against that. And, at the time I was kind of like I've always dreamed, but it didn't dawn on me to tell the church about it, so we could pray about it. But from there on out, dreams that I have that are real serious, I pray on them and I place it before God's throne. Or if it's real evil, I rebuke those dreams and I come against whatever attack that is. You know, some stuff you can't stop, but some stuff you can stop through prayer. So I try to be a little bit more sensitive about my dreams and being more prayerful. Especially when it comes to what's going on in the country. But anyway, y'all, I just wanted to share that with y'all. I love y'all. And just wanted to share that with you. God bless.